Hey there. So I wanted to take a little bit of time today, and I just was on Facebook and I came across this cool little post of questions you've probably never been asked before. And so I read through a couple of these and I was like, oh, some of these are kind of cool. And so, yeah, just in an effort to share a little bit more about myself and maybe things that you know or don't know. I have a lot of new followers and new friends. And so I wanted to share a little bit about myself. And then for those of you who've known me my whole life, you may know these things, you may not know these things. But anyways, yeah, so just here for a little bit of fun and answering some questions. So we'll go from there. Number one, first thing you wash in the shower, gonna be my hair, always. It's interesting because it was not something I'd ever thought about before, just like what my routine is in the shower, but definitely always wash my hair first. What color is your favorite hoodie? It is red. I actually bought it at Dirt Cheap in Mississippi. For those of you who don't know what Dirt Cheap is, it is a discount store where they buy out stores that are closing or that, whatever, and then they bring them there and sell them at a super discounted rate. And so they had this huge collection from Target. And so I bought this red hoodie for like $7 and I wear it multiple times a week. I love it so much. Number three, how are you feeling right now? Pretty good. That's my normal MO. Pretty happy, pretty joyful most days. And yeah, I feel great right now. The sun is shining, as you can see. It's a little colder than I wish it was. It's not cold, but it's colder than I wish that it was. So, but feel great, super excited about today. Tell me about the last dream you remember having. So I had a dream last night, but I don't actually remember much about it. I just remember I walked into my bedroom and on the floor in front of my bed was all of this food that I could eat. I can eat all food, but what I'm saying is food that is healthy and a good choice for me. And so yeah, there was just all this food on the floor, and I remember looking at it and being like, oh, why is there food on the floor? I just want to go to bed. And then I walked and climbed into my bed to go to sleep, even though I was already asleep since I was dreaming. That's interesting. I've actually never thought about the fact that I don't know that I've ever dreamt about going to sleep. That was an interesting thing there. Next question. What's the closest thing to you that is the color red? I have a jacket on my bed that is red, so we'll go with that. Hello to those of you who are saying hello. And wit, yes, of course I'm dreaming about food. Thank you very much for that. Story of my life. Did you meet anybody new today? I had a phone call earlier with someone who was interested in possibly becoming a client of mine. I didn't know who she was before that phone call. She had been recommended by another friend, so I'll take that. I have not met anyone in person today that is new, but I have met someone via the phone. So, what are you craving right now? Water, actually. I was actually just looking around for my water bottle because I think it's over there. And so I would like to have some water right now. But yeah, anyways, I'll drink some whenever I'm done with this. What comes to your mind when you think of cabbage? Definitely a question I've never been asked before. My first thought when I think of cabbage is I really like cabbage. However, I don't think that people cook it enough different ways. Like most often when I have cabbage, I feel like it's been steamed. And I feel like there are probably many other ways to eat cabbage, so we should probably work on that and figure out some more ways to eat cabbage. Hey Michael, good to see you, man. Have you ever counted to 1,000? I don't know that I've ever counted to 1,000 in the sense of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in middle school and high school, I would get in trouble a lot because I would say things that people didn't appreciate or that they would consider disrespectful. And so then I would have to write lines on why I shouldn't be disrespectful. And for some reason, 1,000 was their favorite number. So I have counted to 1,000 in the sense that I had to write something 1,000 times. And so I needed to keep up with it that. Oh, man. Do you bite your ice cream or just lick it? Well, I rarely eat ice cream, as you know. But I like to bite my ice cream. I like to feel that frozen thing. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, definitely bite. If I'm eating ice cream, I'm going to bite it more than just lick it. Do you like your hair? Most days. There are definitely days where it is frustrating and doesn't do what I tell it to. So yeah, I like my hair for the most part. Ginger, you are hilarious. Yeah, we can definitely chat about more info for sure. I'll send you a message whenever I'm done with this. And do you like yourself? Oh my gosh, absolutely. Have you ever met me? I love me. Yeah, huge fan of Brian Brister. Next question. Would you go out to eat with George W. Bush? Sure, why not? Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. What are you listening to right now? My voice? Oh, okay. I guess this was probably a thing where people were just like filling out the answers. So maybe they had music or the TV on in the background or something like that. Yeah, listening to myself. That's exciting. Are your parents strict? Well, I mean, I haven't lived with my parents in a very long time. But growing up, I would say there was a healthy amount of strictness. I definitely had friends who their parents were way more strict than my parents were. My parents were pretty much of the idea that like if they knew who I was with and there were responsible people around, then it was okay that I was there. I mean, there were times that I was like, yo, that's more strict than is probably necessary. But they were definitely not as strict as a lot of the kids that I grew up with. Their parents were definitely more strict than mine. Next question, would you go skydiving? Absolutely. It has been on my list literally since high school. And I've always wanted to do it, always wanted to go. But then I got to this point where I weighed too much to go skydiving. And so then I couldn't do it. And now that I've lost weight again, and have lost a lot of weight now, I definitely want to go skydiving at some point. Hopefully this year, actually. It's on my list for things to do this year. So I'm really hoping that happens. Next question. Do you like cottage cheese? Fun fact, I've never actually tasted it. I love cheese, like huge fan of cheese. However, cottage cheese freaks me out so much. It's so, I don't know, it looks weird. And the texture, just like seeing it being scooped, the texture makes me cringe. So I've never tried cottage cheese, but I also have had very few cheeses that I didn't like. So I would probably actually like it if I could get over how weird it is and actually try it. Have you ever met a celebrity? I have met so many celebrities. Living in New York and then now in LA, I've actually met a lot fewer celebrities in LA than I did in New York. Part of that was working at Apple in Soho. It was like where so many celebrities went to get their devices fixed, and we also had events all the time with celebrities there. So yeah, I have met a number of celebrities in my time. Jamie Pippin says that he is a celebrity, and that is correct. He is, and I have met him, and I know him very well. I spent an entire weekend at a lake house with him a couple months ago, and that was a blast. So yeah, sometimes I even hang out with celebrities. Ruth says to try it in a salad. Cottage cheese in a salad. That may actually work. Yeah, I may try that the next time I'm around cottage cheese and a salad. I don't think I'm going to go buy it just to try it. Do you rent movies often? Not really. I mean, I will periodically rent a movie from iTunes or from Amazon, but it's rare. I mean, there is so much available through other streaming platforms that you don't have to pay for. I mean, you like pay for a subscription, but you don't have to pay for each thing that you watch. So I rarely actually rent movies online even. Is there anything sparkly in the room you're in? Yes. there's a tennis bracelet. It's actually not looking all that sparkly on the... Oh, there we go. A little bit of sparkle there. Yeah, so something sparkly in my room. Hey, John, thanks so much, man. That means the world. John Tomino said, looking great, Brian Brister, proud of you. So thanks for that, John. Benson Terrell said, some people put it in lasagna. Oh, cottage cheese in lasagna. Interesting. I've never actually made lasagna. I've thought about it many times and just have never done it. I don't really know why. But yeah, I could see cottage cheese going in lasagna. That would make sense. Have you ever made a prank phone call? Oh man, back to those junior high school days when I made a number of prank phone calls. Also, there is, so we would call pizza places, and this was before they could like see your phone number or ask your phone number or I don't know, whatever. Anyways, and so like, I remember we used to call and order pizzas to be delivered to our friends' houses. Yeah, probably not our best moments, but we did that. John Tomino said, what has been the hardest part or the biggest challenge of your transformation? And I'd have to say consistency. That's been for sure the thing that is a lot in that, because so many people can do things for a day or a week or a month. But being consistent long after and long into the journey was definitely the hardest part. The best part about it was that I had health coaches along that with me who were able to be there and support me and encourage me in that. And so that was super helpful in being able to stay consistent on that. Brooke Graham said, can't wait to get a hug from the new you. So proud of you. Thanks, Brooke. That means a ton. Yeah, always down for hugs, as you know. So hitting you up the next time I see you. Next question, ever been on a train? I have been on a train many times, and I used to take a train from Syracuse to New York City and then New York City back to Syracuse several times. Love riding on a train. I want to do like a longer train trip. Actually, I saw this ad recently. There's a train trip from New Orleans to Los Angeles for like $140. And so, I don't know, maybe I'll do that one day, like fly to New Orleans, hang out with my mom for a bit, and then take a train back just to see what it's like. That could be fun. First time I ever rode on a train, I was in elementary school, and I had this little game that I was allowed to take with me. It was a class trip. They like drove us like 45 miles up the road, put us on a train, and then we rode the train back to our hometown. And I remember there was this kid who wanted to play my game, and I didn't want to share with him. I wanted to play it, and so I told him no. And then whenever we got off the train, I actually forgot my game on the train. And one of the chaperones who was on the trip happened to be that kid's aunt. And I mentioned to her that I had forgotten my game on the train, and she goes, "'Cause you wouldn't share it with my nephew." And who knows, maybe she's right. Maybe the universe is out to get me because I wasn't being a generous child. I just wanted to play my own game. He should have brought his own game. But then I lost it, so it doesn't really matter anyways. Ruth says, what has been your favorite non-scale victory so far? And are you going to convention? Favorite non-scale victory? Oh my gosh, that is so tough because there are so many. I'm going to go with not having to use a seatbelt extender on planes. There is something so like about having to be like, hi, excuse me, person, I'm really big and your seatbelt doesn't actually fit on my body, so rather than dying in case this plane goes down, could you like give me some extra fabric that I could hook in here? Yeah, that was really tough for me to like ask for that all the time. So not having to ask for a seatbelt extender on a plane is definitely a huge non-scale victory for me. And I'm really thankful for that. And yes, I will absolutely be at convention. Convention last year was one of the greatest things that I went to. And there's no doubt that I'm going this year. I also have a number of clients and coaches who are coming with me. And so, yeah, convention is going to be super fun. Super excited to be with all of you guys in Atlanta in July. Just really excited for that. Next question, brown or white eggs? Is there a... Okay, I don't know if there's actually a difference in the taste. Like, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe somebody can hop on here and answer that. Ruth, yes, I hated having to ask for one. So true. Yeah, having to ask for a seatbelt extender is so frustrating. So thankful that's over with. But I don't remember there being a taste difference between brown eggs and white eggs. So I don't really care one way or the other if they're brown or white. Yeah, I think I like the brown ones for photos. So if I'm trying to get my gram game up, I'm going to need some brown eggs. Otherwise, I'm just going to crack them open and eat them. So, do you use chapstick every single day? There are usually multiple things of chapstick around here. Oh, there they are. They're over there. Yeah, always there. Angela Nicole Kuhn, who's your favorite twin? Oh man, forever that question. But see, here's the thing, is that if you know that set of twins, Angela and Alicia, you know there's no way to pick a favorite because they're both incredible and they have been in my life since birth. And also, let's be real, they're the same person, so you can't really pick a favorite because you're just picking the other one as well as that one. So yeah, anyways. Heather Hendrickson says brown eggs are richer in flavor. Interesting. Now I feel like I need to go try some brown eggs next to some white eggs and figure out the difference. Brooke Graham says, will you ever grow your hair back out? I am really loving your current style on you though. Thanks so much. I've considered growing it out. I've actually started growing it back out several times. And then it gets to a point where I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really done with it being short. So I cut it off. This is actually the longest it's been in a couple of months. I recently cut it pretty short and it's grown out from that. And so today was actually the first day that I had to flat iron it again in order to get it to fix. And that's how I knew that it was too long. Carl William Hammerly said, hey bud, very proud of your commitment and truly inspiring story. You have recently inspired me to drink a gallon of water a day. Dude, that's so awesome. I love that so much. Yeah, always here for water intake and always here to encourage people in that. So super proud of you, man. I love that you're doing that. Your body is seriously going to thank you so much. I mean, just in like internal function, but also the way that it changes your skin and the way that mental clarity, so many benefits of drinking water. I could go on and on. I'm planning to go live at some point in the next week or so with talking just more about the benefits of drinking water. So I love that you hopped on and said that. That's so freaking cool. Benson Terrell says, do you miss living in JS? I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't miss it at all. I love JS. I'm super thankful to have had the opportunity to be born there and to spend time growing up there. I love my family and friends who all live there. I love going back and visiting. But no, I don't miss living there at all. Brittany Carroll said, where's the nose ring? Girl, it's right there. You can't see? That nose ring has been in there for 5 years. It is not going anywhere anytime soon. Angela Kuhn said, my gallon water jug is to be delivered tomorrow. There we go. Let's do this. That's so exciting. I love that. Benson said, we all used to hang out. Yeah, we did all the time at your mom's all the time. And so many cool memories of being with you guys. I would love any time that Crystal would be like, yeah, I'm going to go over to the Terrells. Do you want to go with me? And I was like, yes, the little kid gets to go hang out with his sister and her friends. Brittany Carroll says, I don't have my glasses on. Sorry. Not a problem. Not at all. But yeah, nose ring is definitely still there. Next question. Can you use chopsticks? Of course. I lived in China. Like, you can't live in China and not use chopsticks. Actually, before we moved to China, they gave us a set of chopsticks and were like, okay, use these for the next 6 weeks for like every meal so that you can get used to using them, so it's just easier once you're there, because you're not going to be able to get forks, and so you just need to have chopsticks and be able to use those. So I remember me and my friends were like at college, like picking up French fries and all this crazy stuff, trying to learn how to use chopsticks, and we got really good at it. And then we got to China, and it was like everywhere we went, they were like, oh, you want fork? So we didn't actually need to know how to use chopsticks because there were forks available, but we were very proud to be like, no, we know how to use chopsticks. We're all good. Brooke Graham said, do you still work with Apple? I know you've been helping people on health journeys, but is that your main job or just a side thing? I actually left Apple in May of this year, May of last year, to do photography full time. And then while I was making that transition, God told me to become a health coach and start helping people in this way. So I've been doing that instead, and it has been so incredible and so special and so fulfilling. I've never done anything that is more fulfilling than being able to help people take back their health. And so I'm just so thankful that God told me to do this, because I 100% would not have done it otherwise. But yeah, so no longer with Apple. I worked there for a little over 6 years, and I am super thankful that that time in my life is over with. Next question, are you too forgiving? I'm not sure that that's a possibility. Whenever I think of all the things that I've done and all the decisions I've made that weren't the best for me, and God continued to forgive me for those and continue to love me, then who am I to not offer forgiveness every opportunity that I've given? There's a scripture in the Bible, for those of you who are Christians, that talks about forgiving 70 times 7 each day. That's 490 times a day. So I don't even have an opportunity to forgive people 490 times a day. And I live in LA, where people are idiots on the road. So no, definitely not too forgiving, but only because I don't believe that too forgiving is a thing. Next question, have you ever been in love? Many times. Love is a beautiful thing, and I have had the opportunity to be in love many times, and I will experience that same thing again. Last time you cried? Yesterday? Yeah. I was listening to a really beautiful song, and just like in a time of worship, and I teared up over just how thankful I am for God and His grace, and just to be able to live this amazing life that I do. What was the last question you asked? I mean, I don't think these count because I've technically asked these in answering them. Last question I asked, the last one that comes to mind is a friend of mine sent me a new song that he wrote earlier today and was like, hey bud, will you just take a listen to this? Let me know your thoughts on it. And I responded by asking him if I had just heard the wedding song of 2020 that everyone will soon be having their first dance to, or playing after they do their vows. Seriously, this song is incredible, and I'll let you guys know when it's released because it's amazing. All right, I have been here for a long time, a lot longer than I planned to be live. So last question, do you have any tattoos? I have a lot of tattoos, yeah. I'm wearing long sleeves, so that makes it harder to show them all, but I have the letter here from my dad. I also have this lovely little flower piece here. I have some arrows right here. I have a triangle here. I have a bird here. I have a star here. I have an outline of the world here. I have an outline of the state of Mississippi here. I have a cross made out of 3 nails on my back. And I have a little bitty tattoo on my ankle. Oh, and I have a phrase, let there be light, even to the ends of the earth, on each side of my arm. So yeah, a number of tattoos. Okay, so again, been on here way too long, way longer than I thought I was going to be, but thank you guys so much for joining in, for being a part of this. It was so much fun. We'll do it again sometime. I have more questions that people are sending in. If you have more questions that you'd love me to answer in the future, feel free to send that through. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.